Hello and welcome to the St. Francis Preparatory School Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to introduce 5 more great schools to you in our session. I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Remember that you can direct your questions to a specific school or schools by including their name with your question. You can also put a question in the Q&A for all of our representatives to answer about their programs. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That's why that Q&A button is so important. And this has been one of many different sessions that have been hosted for students at St. Francis Prep. We hope you enjoyed the earlier programs. And as a quick reminder, these have all been recorded. So you'll be able to find this session as well as all the other sessions in about a week's time at the same website where you registered, strivescan.com/SFP. All right, well, I'm very excited to welcome our first school today. We're going to be hearing from SUNY Geneseo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victor. I'm from SUNY Geneseo. I'm also from Queens originally. I actually grew up not too far away from St. Francis Prep, so I feel like I can have a general sense of what it's like from being a Queens student going to Geneseo and whatnot. I'm going to share my screen so that I have a little bit of a presentation. Give me 1 second. So hopefully everyone can see that. And like I said, I'm essentially, I grew up in Queens just like you did. I did go to Geneseo, so I feel like I can answer most questions about whether that be from the perspective of someone from New York City going to Geneseo, or being a Geneseo student, or just admissions in general. In the backgrounds of all of these, in the slideshow, you're going to see pictures of Geneseo. I didn't take all of them, if you're wondering, yeah. So in case you haven't, if you were not able to visit us, this is just kind of a small thing to show. Over here is actually our Sturgis quad area. It's a academic quad. Most of our academic buildings are there. That's our Geneseo Rainbow. It's usually there every Friday. Just kidding. But we just picked a nice time to take this photo. But this is our college green, and our college green is kind of a gathering place for our students. This is our traditional big G photo, G obviously representing Geneseo. But as far as like the questions that I often get asked, the first question I often get asked is, where is Geneseo? So if you can look on the map, that blue star underneath that 390 sign, that's where we're located. We're about 5 hours away from New York City, and before you're like, oh my gosh, that's so far away. 5 hours is not terrible. If you're good at math, 5 hours is about 1/5 of your day. If you think about it that way, it's not terrible. We are in the Finger Lakes region of New York State. We are considered one of the smaller SUNY schools. Geneseo kind of fits the small liberal arts college niche within the SUNY system, where we're both selective, but at the same time small. So 5,000 students is where we are at. And that makes us one of the smaller SUNY schools, like I said. And below, you can see some of the different ratios that we have: 40-60 male to female ratio. But because, like I said, we are a smaller school, we have a 1-17 student to faculty ratio. That kind of makes us more known to have smaller class sizes, where you get to know your professors know who you are. Those are things that are important to us. Also below, you can see that some of our awards and rankings, not listed here. Actually, we were listed on Condé Nast, which is a travel magazine, on their top 50 most beautiful college campuses in the United States. There's like over 600 or something college in the US. So to be in the top 50 is actually pretty good. So what the running joke I like to tell is that, we are both beauty and brains here at Geneseo. So definitely a really good place to be if you're looking for somewhere that will challenge you academically, but also, you're doing it in a beautiful setting. Continuing onwards, this is our science building at Geneseo. In our fake virtual tour, you didn't go very far. You literally just did a 180 because the college green where the big G was behind you. But as far as academics go, we have 50 different undergraduate degree programs. These are majors, and then 27 interdisciplinary minors. I'll kind of cut to the slide ahead. because I sort of talked about academics already. I painstakingly typed this out because the formatting was a little funky. So if you need to screenshot this, this is a whole list of our majors, minors. All the majors that are listed here actually can be minors. Interdisciplinary minors, the only difference is that in some of these minors, you can actually you're taking classes amongst different departments. So for example, the Asian Studies minor, you'll take classes in history or foreign language or in a variety of departments. We do have on the right hand side some pre-professional programs, pre-law, pre-med, and pre-vet. They're not majors, they're tracks. So if you are pre-med, you still have to choose a major. Below, you'll see some of the co-op programs that we do have. So the first number in the co-op program is how many years you'll be at Geneseo, and the next number will be how long it would take you to complete that program. And because we're a smaller college, we don't have a ton of graduate degree programs. We're often a very good launching pad for students to go elsewhere for stronger grad programs. So, but we do have two. We have three master's programs falling under two different schools, our School of Business and our School of Education. School of Business, obviously accounting, School of Education, or reading literacy masters, and our adolescence education masters. This is a picture of our Sturgis Quad. You may have heard of that. That was because it was from the first slide, but not in the bird's eye view. But we do have a lot of clubs and organizations at Geneseo. We have over 200. You can find a whole list of that on our website. We have, if there's one that we don't have, you can actually make your own club. Although I think we do have everything. We even have a beekeeping club. So, those are we have a lot of different activities that are just clubs and organizations, but they're also planned activities from our student life department. You'll see here, it says Geneseo Late Night. It's kind of, it looks like I made a mistake. We love our puns at Geneseo. Geneseo is, our mascot is a knight, but our Geneseo Late Night programs are kind of fun activities planned for our students on the weekends. I'm just going to skip ahead as far as like admissions information goes. This is just our average student profile, GPA, SAT, and ACT. Hopefully we're test optional. And then on the bottom, everything else, the application, the letters of recommendations, all those are all you already know. And as far as deadlines goes, January 1st is regular decision and early decision is November the 15th. I'm going to have this slide up. If you want to screenshot that, this is what I look like, 10 pounds lighter. But that's also my work email and my cell phone number.
Thanks, Victor, for sharing SUNY Geneseo with all of us and starting us off as the first school tonight. Appreciate it. All right. Our next school that we're going to hear from is the Cooper Union.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm sharing my screen now. It's just loading. So my name is Maya Kurtic, and I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Cooper, and I'm also an alum of the School of Architecture at Cooper. And so Cooper is located in the East Village of New York City, so we're also in New York. These are our three main buildings. If you've ever been to the East Village in Manhattan, you've probably passed by one of these. Most notably, the first one, the big silver building, that is where you'll be if you're studying engineering. And in the middle building, that's our foundation building. So that was our founding building in 1859. And that's where you'll be if you're studying art or architecture. And the third photo is our dorm building. And that is where you'll be living as a first-year student. And you can see in this little diagram up here how close they are to one another. So they're really just right across the street from one another. And so we don't have a traditional campus like many colleges in America, but we instead have New York City as our campus, as you can see in these photos. Our vision and history. So the Cooper Union was founded in 1859 by Peter Cooper. And the Cooper Union prepares students to make enlightened contributions to society through outstanding academic programs in architecture, art, and engineering. So Cooper is unique in the way that we only have 3 majors, and you apply to one of those majors instead of sort of just generally to Cooper. And since its founding, Cooper has been open to all regardless of race, religion, sex, wealth, or social status. So the mission of Cooper is really important to us. You can see here a couple images from our historic Great Hall. So Abraham Lincoln spoke there, the suffragette movement started in the Great Hall. John Lewis spoke in our Great Hall. So it's a really amazing space that is still active today to bring in different speakers. So yeah, our values. We are very small, dynamic, and challenging. Overall, Cooper is only about 900 students big, so it's really tiny. The School of Engineering has about 200 students per class. The School of Art has about 60 students per class, and the School of Architecture has only about 30 students per class. We have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Typically in each class you're gonna have about 30 students or less. Passionate, committed, collaborative peers support you in your academic pursuits. Over 13,000 alumni worldwide. And engagement with NYC and the East Village is really important to us. So the Albert Nerken School of Engineering has 5 majors. So if you're in the School of Engineering, you would be choosing one of the 5 majors: chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, or general engineering. And so these all have project-based interdisciplinary coursework. You have research opportunities in any of these. And there's also the option to do a 4-year bachelor's and master's program integrated. The Irwin S. Channon School of Architecture is a 5-year professional Bachelor of Architecture degree, which is the degree you need to become a licensed architect in the United States. There's 25 to 30 students per class, 3 faculty per design studio. This is a photo of our studio space, which is on the 3rd floor of that foundation building. And this would be your home for the 5 years that you're at Cooper, basically. Everyone gets a desk in this big studio space. And you basically learn from the students as much as you would from faculty, because you're all sitting together in this community, watching each other work, working alongside each other, having informal conversations about your work. So yeah. The School of Art is an integrated program. So the BFA, the Bachelor of Fine Arts, is a Bachelor of Fine Arts. There's no major that you choose within the art program, and that's really important to the curriculum, to not have any majors. Instead, you have a very important foundation year where you learn to work across many mediums, and then over the years you sort of lean towards maybe what you're more interested in, but you never declare either sculpture, photography, drawing. Cooper students typically work across all different mediums, and you have access to classes and facilities that would allow you to work in anything. There's about 65 freshmen and approximately 5 to 10 transfers a year, very small class sizes. And yeah, Cooper believes in the well-rounded artists. There's studio space for all students after foundation year, so you'll get your own little sort of desk and cubby to work in. And being in New York City, all 3 majors really benefit from distinguished artists, architects, engineers on our faculty. So a lot of the people who work at Cooper as teachers, they also have their own practices, and they come in with that knowledge, as well as sort of being an interesting and good teacher. Student life, like I showed you, we have the residence hall. That's just for 1st-year students. After that, you're on your own in terms of housing, but that's a really great skill to learn. You become a New Yorker, which you already all are. Is my time up? Yes.
But I put a pause on your time because you actually froze on our end. So I wanted to just see about 51 seconds left, and I'm so glad you're back. So great.
I'm sorry, where did I freeze?
The screen just changed, so I am not sure. So we haven't heard anything that you've said about the on the student life page, okay. I believe.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I think my Wi-Fi is a bit spotty today. So student life, we have a residence hall that's for 1st-year students. After that, you're on your own in terms of housing. So you really learn how to find an apartment in New York City, which is a great life skill. We have peer mentorship programs, study abroad, student government, 80+ clubs, and then life in the East Village, which is super exciting and fun. Preparing for Cooper, I'm gonna skip to the next page since I have not enough time, but applying to Cooper. So you apply to the discipline that you're interested in, art, architecture, engineering. We are gonna be test optional for next year, and you use the Common App, and then each school has their own supplement that you will learn more about once you get into applying. And very last thing, financial aid. Every student who's admitted to Cooper automatically gets a half tuition scholarship, and that is good for all 4 or 5 years that you're there at Cooper. All right, I'll put my email in the chat and you can email me any questions you have. Thank you.
Great. And thanks, Maya, for presenting on the Cooper Union. And also one of our panelists let us know that you didn't freeze on their end, so the presentation's all good, which no worries.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, great. And as Maya said, she's going to put her information in the chat, and I know Victor has done that for Geneseo. So I hope that all of our attendees will keep an eye on the chat after each school presents to make sure that you are able to get the contact information for follow-up. Since these 6 minutes are just a sneak peek, to give you an intro, and there's so much more to learn, definitely please make sure to check that chat. And then also for all of our newer attendees who've arrived since we started, welcome. The Q&A button is your best way. That's the way you can communicate with our representatives. You can ask a question about a specific school by putting their name with your question, or you can leave a question for all of our representatives to answer about their programs. It can be academic questions about things involved in student life, careers, or admissions information. So we love to see questions come in that Q&A. Don't hesitate to use them. All right, well, I'm excited to welcome our next school. We're going to be hearing from St. Francis College.
All right, here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, looks great, Ferdinand.
We're good? All right, perfect. So welcome, everyone. My name is Ferdinand Rivera. I go by Freddie. I work for the Office of Admissions for St. Francis College, and I want to talk to you about St. Francis College because we believe in creating a learning environment where everyone belongs so that everyone has the opportunity to dream, serve, and achieve. Dream big, serve the community and one another, and achieve greatness. And how we do that is really by some of our key differentiating factors as an institution. So we like to say that we have 5 key differentiating factors. The first one is going to be affordability, right? Especially in these times, affordability, and we label it number 1. We understand it has come to the forefront of education. You know, a lot of you are wondering, how am I going to pay for college? How am I going to pay for higher education? You know, that you don't want to fall into a trap of debt or anything that you've heard. Now, the way we do that is by offering merit-based scholarships based off of your GPA and need-based scholarships based upon your family's income, right? So as an institution, when you apply, we are SAT, ACT optional as a school. So we are basing your merit-based scholarship off of your GPA, and any student with an 85 GPA or higher gets to come in either January or March of their senior year and come to our scholarship day. And our scholarship day is an opportunity to compete for additional scholarship up to a full tuition scholarship. As well, while you're doing that process, when you've completed your FAFSA, free application for federal and state aid, what we do is we take a look at that. We take a look at your FAFSA information, and we award a need-based scholarship based upon that information. So before a student even attends a scholarship day to try and compete for a full tuition scholarship, we're already awarding a merit-based scholarship and a need-based scholarship that's combinable with any federal aid. And if you're a New York State resident and you get TAP, that is also going to be combinable with your state aid. So that's how we're creating affordability. And as well, for St. Francis Prep, since you are a parochial, faith-based institution, we do offer an additional $1,000 right off the bat for just coming from a faith-based institution. So you can expect that when you apply to St. Francis College. And our location is something that we've strategically thought of. New York City is our campus and Brooklyn's our backyard. We have strategically located ourselves in downtown Brooklyn so we can integrate ourselves into the city, and we can offer internship opportunities that are only a train stop away or a walk away. We're a train stop away from Manhattan, from the financial district, from Wall Street. Our location allows us to be accessible for opportunities for you, and also to be accessible in general for you as the student. We're accessible by almost every major train. You can hop on the 2, 3, 4, 5, the R train. You can go to Borough Hall, or you can go to Atlantic Avenue. You can go to J Street, and you can get to St. Francis College. We're located in the heart of New York City. Our soccer team plays on the piers that overlook the Brooklyn Promenade. Our residence halls, which are brand new, they were built last year. Our brand new residence halls are also located in downtown Brooklyn. And some of the rooms even have a view of the Manhattan skyline. Again, strategic location to give you the best education possible. We believe in a personalized approach to education. We're an institution where everybody knows your name. We have a student to faculty ratio of 16:1 so that we can offer that individualized approach to education. When you get an advisor that works with you for the full 4 years that you're at St. Francis College, so that way you're not a new person, you're not coming in with your student ID number, you're a name. You get to build relationships with the faculty members and the administrative staff that's going to help you succeed. That faculty is going to be key. That faculty is going to work with you every step of the way. Some of those personalized ways we approach education is that we have over 70 majors and minors in a small private institution. With 70 different majors and minors, we have a program for everything, right? We have almost every program in the sciences. It's all SAT, ACT optional, except our nursing program. That is the only program that requires 1,050 SAT score if your GPA is below a 90. Every other program is SAT, ACT optional. We also offer 2 accelerated tracks. We have 5-year accelerated masters in psychology and accounting. So instead of doing 6 years traditionally for the bachelor's and the master's, we offer those accelerated tracks for students. As well, being in the middle of downtown Brooklyn, we're also a Division I school. We have 21 different Division I athletic teams, all located at St. Francis College. And with our 40 clubs and organizations on campus, we strive to make sure that not only academics have the right fit and feel for you, but the programming as well. Whether you're looking to expand culturally, socially, academically, honor societies, whatever the case may be, with over 40 clubs and organizations on campus, this allows us to make sure we're offering the programming for you so that you can grow in your academic journey, academically and as a person with all of the different social identities. This is going to help you join the network of a lifetime, a network of people in New York City who've come together and have grown together to be a part of the SFC community, right? So I think I'm running out of time, but you can visit us on sfc.edu/meet us in person or virtually, whatever you're comfortable with. We will meet you where you're at, and we will help guide you every step of the way. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Freddie, for sharing St. Francis with all of us tonight. All right, we're off to our next school. We're going to be heading down south to the University of Tampa.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys all so much for joining us today. My name's Alexandra. I'm one of the admissions counselors for the University of Tampa, and I am one of the New York counselors. So I will be your point of contact if you need anything at all throughout the next year and a half, pretty much helping you get prepared to submit your application and then hopefully arrive on campus. So there's my email there on the screen if you'd like to take a screenshot, but of course I'll also drop it in the chat after I'm done. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First things first, where are we located? We are right in downtown Tampa. I know it's kind of hard to tell in that picture, but on the other side of the river is the downtown area. So it's just a short 5-minute walk across the bridge, and you have access to all these great internship opportunities, great restaurants and museums, but we still have that traditional college campus feel. So even though we're in the urban environment, there are no major roads that run through campus. So students don't need to worry about traffic when they're walking from their classes to their dorms to the dining hall. Everything is very accessible right here on campus. We are a medium-sized university with just under 10,000 students, and we have students from all 50 states as well as over 132 different countries. So you'll be meeting students from all over the world right here on campus. We are a private university, which means we're the same price for in-state and out-of-state students. And we actually are very competitively priced compared to other private schools, and even more specifically, some of the SUNY schools, especially when you get those scholarships and grants piled on top. We also are an independent school, meaning we have no religious or political affiliation, although we do have a chapel on campus that's very available for anyone to use. We're also a liberal arts school, so outside of your major, you'll be taking classes in a variety of different subjects. We just like to see our students graduate with a well-rounded education, taking some classes in a bunch of different areas. We are NCAA Division II, and we have 20 varsity sports. If you're interested in playing, we'd be happy to connect you with one of the coaches as they handle recruitment and athletic scholarships. But don't worry, we also have lots of club and intramural sports if you don't want to compete at the collegiate level. We were rated a top-tier regional university in the South by US News and World Report, and we were also rated best college location in Florida by Nation 2020. Tampa is just a really cool city to be in. Of course, I can't miss the opportunity to shout out Tampa Bay. We are home to the Buccaneers and the Lightning, who won the Stanley Cup and the Super Bowl this past year. So both teams celebrated their championships on the river right next to campus. So that was a lot of fun for us to be a part of that celebration. Now, just to mention some academics real quick, our average class size is 22 students, so probably something you're used to in high school. Our faculty to student ratio is 1 to 17, and all of our classes are taught by professors. None are taught by TAs or grad students. 90% of our faculty have a PhD or terminal degree, so you'll be learning from the best of the best. Many of them even still work in their fields, so they can be great resources when it comes to finding internship opportunities or even job opportunities. We also have over 200 areas of study to choose from. So if you're not really sure what you want to study, don't worry, plenty of options and plenty of time to figure it out. We pretty much have every major except for engineering, but we do have a brand new computer science program that's starting this fall, and we're very excited about it. Of course, you could pick up a minor or a double major if that's something you're interested in doing. And after your first year, you'll be paired with an academic advisor in your field of study so they can help you navigate class schedules and internships. We really emphasize a learn by doing environment here at UT, that experiential education. So starting as early as freshman year, you'll have tons of undergraduate research opportunities throughout your experience here at UT. You could even get funding for some of those research opportunities there. We also have tons of internship opportunities. Being right in downtown Tampa, and actually the only school in downtown Tampa, you have such a leg up on the competition when it comes to applying to those internships. Many of them are even walking distance because we are so close to downtown. You can see in some of the pictures there ways that students can get involved outside of the classroom. We do have one of the top nursing programs in the state of Florida, as we've had 100% pass rate on the NCLEX in 7 out of the last 8 years. For our entrepreneurships, but also open to every student on campus, we have our pitch room, our own little version of Shark Tank. You can pitch your inventions, ideas to local Tampa Bay investors and actually get some funding. We have our financial trading center for our business students, our marine science field station for marine biology and environmental science students, and our Fab Lab has our 3D printers and laser cutters. And that's just scraping the surface for how many different ways you can get involved outside of the classroom. We also have over 1,000 different study abroad programs to choose from in about 60 different countries. Of course, you can do the traditional semester abroad, but we also offer something very cool. It's called a travel course, which you take on campus for the semester, but then over summer or winter break, you travel for 2 to 3 weeks to that country and just see everything you just learned about. So it's a great option if you have a very rigorous course schedule or if you just don't want to leave for the full semester. Of course, we want you to love where you live and learn. So right here on campus, we have 27 different dining options that are included in your meal plan, including the Starbucks, a Einstein Bagel Brothers, a Chick-fil-A, a Dairy Queen, our Ultimate Dining Cafeteria, and many other options. We do also have over 300 clubs and organizations for students to get involved with, everything from academic-based clubs, hobby-based clubs, student government, Greek life, religious-based clubs, cultural-based clubs. You'll definitely find something that you're interested in. Some of our more popular clubs would include the Beach Club, the Hammock Club, and the Snorkeling Club. So those are a lot of favorites. Of course, just to talk about admissions real quick, our application deadlines are listed on the screen there, so feel free to take a screenshot. But we have 2 rounds of early action. We do not have early decision at UT, so all of our decisions are our application deadlines are non-binding, excuse me. Applications open in September as well. Now, what we'll need in your application is your official high school transcript, personal essay, and at least 1 recommendation letter. And we are test optional through spring of 2023, so we do not need those test scores. And of course, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I had a blast talking to you. And of course, I'll put my contact information in the chat. And I also want to mention real quick before I finish that we are holding in-person tours currently and through the summer. So if you get the chance to come and visit, I would love to meet you. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alexandra, for sharing the University of Tampa. And now we are heading back north into New York, and we'll be hearing from SUNY Cortland.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carmen Wingard. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Let me try this again.
We've all been there. 2020 and 2021. That's how we are getting yes. Great. And yes, now it's on presentation mode. You're all set.
Awesome. Well, I just lost 15 seconds.
No, I paused it. I always pause when there's a technical problem. So you're
Thank you, Jennifer. Again, my name's Carmen Wingard. I'm a senior advisor here at SUNY Cortland. I want to thank everyone that's here attending. You've got some great schools here who've been given a great presentation so far. Just to give you a little bit of snapshot about Cortland. Within the SUNY system, we are what's called a university college, which means that we are primarily focused on your bachelor's degree, your undergraduate experience. We have a few master's courses, but we're really focused on an undergraduate curriculum. And we are medium-sized schools, so 6,800 in total. Undergrads are about 6,200. In the fall, last year, we brought in about 1,300 freshmen, a little bit over 500 transfer students. So over 1,800 new faces are on our campus pretty much every single fall. Class sizes are about 23 students per class. Now, this is what gets coined on our campus as kind of the best of both worlds, because if you go up to enrollment, we have close to 7,000 students that you can interact with and pretty much see a different face every day if you wanted to. But academically, we're very similar to a school a lot smaller than what we are. So that's a little bit more conducive for learning. You get to learn from your peers and interact a little bit more and not feel too overwhelmed with so many people in your class. So that's the benefit for us and our students. Student faculty ratio is about 16:1. If you're wondering where Cortland is, we're smack dab right in the middle of New York State, central New York. So about 4 hours from New York City. Guarantee you, I've been working in New York City as a recruiter for the last 15 years. The toughest part is getting out of the borough. Once you do, it's a straight shot to our campus. We're a rural college town, with a lot of activities and things going on. And we're roughly about 20 to 45 minutes away from Syracuse, Ithaca, and Binghamton, which are a little bit more urban metropolitan cities, if you're looking to venture there on the weekends or evening nights. #1 ranked safest campus in New York State. A lot of measures go into that. Our university police department that's here 24/7, video surveillance that goes around the entire campus, card access only into a lot of our buildings, including our residence halls. So that's a very good stat that a lot of students and families really appreciate. Very diverse, not only in our cultural students' backgrounds, we're about 25% diversity on our campus, but also geographically. So we are represented by every county within New York State, as well as 33 different states and 54 different countries. There's a lot of activities to participate in. So over 80 clubs and organizations. If you are interested in an academic club organization towards your major, you can get involved in that. There's also about 15 different fraternities and sororities. There are club organizations that deal with music, media, and service. If you wanted to build homes for impoverished families around the area, you can get involved in Habitat for Humanity. But the biggest piece of encouragement I can give you is to find what fits you. Also, uniquely, if you don't find what you like, we can also start a program as long as you have 3 members through our SGA. Cortland also is a powerhouse in Division III athletics, typically ranked in the top 25 out of all Division III schools in the country over the last 3 decades. And if you were looking to get involved in the varsity athletic sport, you can do that through our website, but we also have club and intramural programs as well. Living on campus, you have to live on campus for at least the first 2 years. We have approximately half of our student body living on campus. So a little bit over 3,300 students are living in one of 17 different residence halls. We have a number of different eateries on our campus. 2 of them are all you care to eat, buffet cafeteria style. Go in, grab a meal from 6 a.m. to about 12 p.m. Or 12 a.m. They're open all day, as well as we have a number of different a la carte eateries. So if you just want to grab a bagel, maybe a coffee or a slice of pizza, you certainly can do that conveniently around our campus and off campus using your dining dollars. And we've invested over $250 million into our campus over the last decade. One of those facilities is our Student Life Center. It's a $65 million state-of-the-art health and wellness facility, offers 2 floors of workout rooms, breakout studios for Zumba, cycling, and any kind of session that may be taking place. A full-size pool with a jacuzzi spa, indoor track area, as well as 3 full courts. Academically, Cortland has 68 different majors spread out over 3 different schools. Top programs, I would say off the bat, would be teacher certification programs. We offer everything from adolescent education all the way through physical education. We're one of the top education programs in the region. Criminology, exercise science, fitness development. So if you're looking at criminal justice, criminology is very similar. Exercise science, fitness development. If you're interested in kinesiology, athletic training, physical therapy, that would be a great route for you. Speech and hearing science, we have undergraduate and graduate program available for students looking to go become speech pathologists. And then sport management. We had one of the first sport management programs within SUNY. It's ranked undergraduate and graduate level, and it has a few concentration areas in it, everything from sports marketing all the way through sports law. Criteria. So if you're looking to come to Cortland as a New York State graduate, which you all will be very soon, you're looking at 4 years of English and social studies. We also are looking for at least 3 years of math, science, and foreign language. Academically, with the numbers, we're a B school, somewhere between an 86 to a 92 GPA, 3.0 to a 3.4. We are test optional as of this year. Pretty much, I would think consensusly with the rest of the panelists going into next year, we will be as well. But I would always check back with the admissions offices just to see what kind of status we are currently in, because we are a SUNY school, and that kind of gets mandated from the top SUNY administration level. So, as of right now, I would anticipate that being the case, but I would always check back with us. Total expenses, we are about $7,000, $13,000 for room and board, and $1,800 with our college fees. Grand total about $21,896 before any kind of aid. Once again, thank you all for coming to this session with us today. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or reach out to me personally.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmen, for sharing about SUNY Cortland. All right, we have a few minutes left together. I want to make sure that all of our representatives have been able to get their information in the chat shared out to our attendees, and there's time for attendees to grab that info. And also for any last questions in the Q&A, we've gotten a couple in there. We'd love to see more. So please, feel free to think of those last questions you want to add. While we're doing that, I would like to invite all of our representatives to come back in camera to answer a Q&A question live together. So here we go. We will go in the exact same order that you presented. So we'll start with SUNY Geneseo and work our way through 145. And then when the person going to be finishes, just feel free to turn on your microphone and answer. We'll just kind of free flow from person to person. So I'd love to hear from each of you about a favorite event or tradition that's on campus. It can be yours, or it can be something that you just know is so important to the students, or it's just a big event for your entire community, and we'd love to hear more about it. So we'll start with Victor. Thank you again for starting.
Yeah, no problem. I think the biggest thing for us on campus is catching a Geneseo sunset. I've mentioned this before in my presentation, but we were listed as the top 50 most beautiful college campus, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the campus physically, but it has to do with gazebo where students can sit out and just watch the sunset. And there is also a small superstition that if you are engaged underneath the gazebo at the sunset, you will be with that person forever. Just as an FYI.
Is it my turn now? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I guess at Cooper, one of the favorite things that we do every year on Halloween is the School of Architecture, but other schools participate too, has pumpkin carve. So all the architecture students who use their skills for model making and making three-dimensional objects take that to a pumpkin, and then we put them outside of the school so that everyone in the East Village can see them on display.
Don't worry, we all did it. We've all had that moment.
Sorry,
Great.
Glitching on me, home Wi-Fi. St. Francis,
Yeah.
the best event by far has to be our Terrier Tuesday. So in the fall semester, our classes always start on a Wednesday. So the Tuesday, the day before classes start, we close down Remsen Street in downtown Brooklyn. We have a huge block party for all the students. Obviously, we didn't get to do it because of COVID last year. Hopefully this year we'll see Terrier Tuesday make a return, but by far the best event I experienced.
All right. I would say that my favorite tradition on campus, we have this thing every spring. It's called Party in the Park. So if you remember that picture from my presentation, the river right next to campus, in that big green area that it's called Plant Park, we hold a huge concert there every spring. And we've had some really big names such as Jesse McCartney. And there's a ton of others, but it's always so much fun. It's our students' favorite. This year we had to do it virtually, but we had Jason Derulo headlining.
All right, so for SUNY Cortland, and those are some great traditions and experiences from the panelists, but for SUNY Cortland, I would think it would be our Cortica Jug. It's a contest between SUNY Cortland and Ithaca College, who is about 20 miles down the road. They call it the biggest game in the nation. It's a football game, but it adds a lot of campus spirit. We get participants and attendees from all across the country, other alumni, students from both schools, and also friends. It usually comes on ESPN3. It's gotten so big that last year, or not last year, pre-COVID, 2 years ago, we actually played our contest at MetLife Stadium, and we had 55,000 people at that game. So it was the second largest attended Division III football game in the country. But it usually starts the week ahead with a lot of programs and activities centered around it, and it leads up to about a day after.
I love this question because after hearing everyone's responses, I want to go and look up pictures from past years or see how things were done virtually. I hope for everyone who's watching, whether it's live or the recording, that if any of this sounded interesting to you, that would be another sign to think, oh, maybe I should go check out that school. Go online, learn a little bit more to see if you can picture yourself on campus, in and out of the classroom, enjoying all of the events and programs and opportunities that every school has to offer. Well, we are getting to the end of our time together today, and I first just want to thank our panelists. You are amazing admissions professionals who shared not just the logistics, those facts and figures and all the numbers about your campuses, but just your obvious energy, passion, and excitement for the student opportunities in and out of the classroom. For everyone who's watching, thank you for taking the time to explore, to learn more. I hope that you maybe learned a little bit more about a school that you were already interested in, but we've also piqued your curiosity to check out some new options. These are amazing admissions professionals. All of them and their colleagues are here to be your #1 resource, to answer your questions, to help guide you through this process. It can feel overwhelming moving through the college search process, but remember, your admissions counselors are these awesome humans and they're here to help. All right, now for the logistics of wrapping up this evening. So, when you click the window, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. Now, students, I know you're probably thinking survey. I promise it's really short, it's really easy, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, remember, this is just one of many different sessions that were hosted for St. Francis Prep students. We hope that you enjoyed other sessions and that you're curious about learning about other schools as well. Just remember, in a week's time, you'll be able to find this session's recording and all of the other session recordings at that same website where you registered, strivescan.com/SFP. Thanks again for taking the time. The college search process, like I said, I know there can be many moments where it feels overwhelming, but these are really fun and awesome adventure as you discover what's next for you after high school. So thank you all for being here and best wishes. Have a wonderful evening.